The Deep Space Monitoring Station in Nevada picked up the first signals at 3:47 a.m. Earth Standard Time. Tom Miller, the night shift operator, nearly spilled his coffee when the sensors lit up like a Christmas tree. What started as a tiny blip at the edge of the solar system quickly multiplied into hundreds, then thousands of signals. "This can't be right," he muttered, running the scans again. His hands trembled as he reached for the red phone, the one that connected directly to Space Command. Within hours, every major observatory and space agency confirmed the same thing. A massive fleet of ships had entered the solar system. They moved with impossible precision, their formation so perfect it could only be artificial. The vessels were massive, some larger than Earth's biggest cities. General Adams stood in the Pentagon's command center, surrounded by screens showing the approaching armada. Military satellites provided crystal-clear images of the alien ships, sleek, metallic behemoths that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. Their hulls bore markings in an unknown script, glowing with a faint purple light. "How long until they reach Earth?" he asked, his voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. "At their current speed, 48 hours, sir," replied Captain Rogers, the head of tactical analysis. The President of the United States called an emergency meeting of the Security Council. As world leaders gathered virtually, the first transmission arrived. It came simultaneously through every communication device on Earth: phones, radios, televisions, computers. The message was clear and terrifying in its simplicity. A deep, resonating voice spoke in perfect English. "People of Earth, you are now part of the Galactic Empire. Your planet holds resources we require. Surrender your world, and you may live as our subjects. Resist, and you will be eliminated. You have 24 hours to respond." Similar messages played in every known human language. The Empire had done its homework. In the underground bunker beneath the White House, world leaders argued about the best course of action. The Chinese president advocated for immediate surrender, hoping to negotiate better terms. The Russian president wanted to launch every nuclear weapon at the alien fleet. The European Union representatives called for diplomatic dialogue. Meanwhile, in orbit, the International Defense Station watched helplessly as the alien fleet approached. Commander Wilson, a veteran of 3 space wars, had never felt so small. Earth's most advanced warships looked like toys compared to the Imperial vessels. "All stations, report status," he ordered, knowing full well their weapons would be useless against such advanced technology. "Sir," his tactical officer called out, "we're detecting energy buildups in the alien fleet. They're positioning themselves around the planet." The Empire wasn't waiting for Earth's response. They were preparing for either outcome, acceptance or resistance. Back on Earth, military bases worldwide went into full alert. Fighters scrambled, missile silos opened, and submarines surfaced to receive commands. It was humanity's best show of force, but against an interstellar empire, it seemed almost laughable. General Adams received reports from his global counterparts. China had mobilized its entire army. Russia's nuclear forces were ready. The European Union had activated its orbital defense grid. But would any of it matter? The president stood before the emergency session of the United Nations, his words broadcast to every corner of the globe. "We face the greatest threat in human history, but we will not bow to threats. We will not surrender our world. Humanity has fought too hard, come too far, to become slaves." As he spoke, the alien fleet continued its approach, their massive ships now visible in the night sky like new stars. People around the world gathered in streets, in churches and homes, watching the sky with a mixture of fear and awe. In the Nevada monitoring station, Tom Miller continued his watch, recording every movement of the alien fleet. He noticed something odd: regular energy pulses coming from the largest ship, like a heartbeat. He sent his findings to Space Command, not knowing he had just discovered the first weakness in the Empire's seemingly perfect armor. The clock was ticking. Earth had less than 18 hours to find a way to survive. But unknown to both humanity and the Empire, Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, something ancient was stirring. Something that would change the course of this conflict forever. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, Dr. Robert West guided his research submarine through the darkness. The military had redirected all deep-sea research vessels to investigate an unusual energy signature detected hours after the Empire's arrival. As chief scientist of the Deep Ocean Research Program, he hadn't expected to be working during what might be humanity's last hours. Approaching the source, 2,000 meters down, his pilot announced, carefully maneuvering between towering underwater rock formations. The submarine's lights illuminated something that made Dr. West's heart skip a beat. Embedded in the rock wall was a perfectly smooth metal surface, its dark material unmarked by centuries under the ocean. "Are you seeing this?" He radioed to the surface. "We found some kind of structure. It's definitely not natural." As they moved closer, the metal surface seemed to respond to their presence. Lines of soft blue light traced across its surface, forming complex patterns. The submarine's instruments went crazy, detecting massive energy readings. "Military vessels are on their way," command informed them. "Hold your position." Within an hour, 3 more research submarines and 5 military vessels had arrived. The discovery was too important to wait, even with the Empire's deadline approaching. As they watched, the glowing lines spread, revealing the true scale of the structure. It wasn't just a wall, but the entrance to something massive. Above the surface, General Adams received the first images. "Get me the president," he ordered. "Tell him we found something. Something big." Dr. West led the first team into the structure after it opened, revealing long corridors that impossibly remained dry despite being under the ocean. The walls were covered in markings similar to those on the Empire's ships, but different somehow, older. "This technology," he reported through his radio, "it's far more advanced than anything we've ever seen. But it's not Imperial. This is something else entirely." In a vast chamber at the heart of the facility, they found what looked like a control room. Holographic displays sprang to life as they entered, showing star maps and weapon systems that made Earth's most advanced technology look primitive. "Look at this," called out Dr. West's assistant, pointing to a wall covered in ancient writing. "The translation program is working on it. It's some kind of message." The text spoke of a civilization that had fought the Empire eons ago. They had been mighty technological giants who had seeded Earth with their defensive systems before vanishing into history. They had chosen Earth for its strategic position and its promising native species, humans. Military technicians worked frantically to understand the facility's systems. Time was running out. Only 12 hours remained before the Empire's deadline. "These are weapon platforms," one technician announced, studying the holographic displays. "Thousands of them, hidden throughout Earth's oceans. They're powered by some kind of fusion technology we've never seen before." Dr. West found himself drawn to a central pedestal in the room. As he approached, it lit up with a soft green glow. Images flashed through his mind. Instructions, warnings, possibilities. The ancient builders had left more than weapons. They had left a manual. "Get me General Adams," he called out urgently. "I know how to activate the defense system, but we only get one shot at this." On the surface, the Imperial fleet had moved closer, their massive ships now clearly visible from Earth. Cities around the world had gone dark, their lights extinguished in preparation for possible conflict. The president and his advisors gathered in the bunker, listening to Dr. West's explanation. The ancient facility wasn't just a weapons platform. It was a command center for a planetary defense system that had lain dormant for millennia, waiting for humanity to find it. "We can't power up the entire system at once," Dr. West explained, "but we can activate a single platform for a demonstration. Show them we're not as defenseless as they think." General Adams smiled for the first time since the crisis began. "How quickly can you have it ready?" 3 hours, Dr. West replied. "But sir, there's something else you need to know. According to these records, the Empire has fought something like this before, and they lost." The race was on. As Dr. West and his team worked to activate the ancient defenses, humanity prepared to send the Empire a message they would never forget. General Adams stood in the underwater command center, watching as Dr. West and his team made final preparations. 6 hours remained until the Empire's deadline, but Earth was about to change the rules of engagement. Platform 1 is responding to activation sequences, announced Dr. West, his fingers dancing across the ancient controls. The holographic displays showed a massive structure rising from its resting place on the ocean floor, 30 miles from their position. On the surface, military ships cleared the area. Satellite imagery showed the water beginning to churn. What emerged left hardened military officers speechless. A platform larger than an aircraft carrier rose from the depths, water cascading from its gleaming surface. Unlike the stark, aggressive designs of the Imperial ships, this weapon platform was elegant, almost beautiful. Its surface rippled with patterns of light, and it hovered effortlessly above the waves. "All systems are online," reported Dr. West. "The targeting computers are more advanced than anything we've ever seen. They can track and engage targets beyond Earth's orbit." General Adams nodded. "Select your target. Make it count." In orbit, the Imperial fleet detected the platform's emergence. A small scout ship broke formation to investigate, exactly as Earth's military leaders had hoped. They had deliberately chosen this moment, when the Empire's arrogance would make them underestimate Earth's capabilities. The ancient platform tracked the scout ship with invisible beams. There was no warning, no charging sequence, no visible weapon. One moment the Imperial scout ship existed, the next it simply vanished, leaving behind only a brief flash of light and scattered particles. Silence fell over the command center. The demonstration had exceeded their highest expectations. The Empire's supposedly invincible technology had been eliminated with almost casual ease. "Send the transmission," ordered General Adams. The message was broadcast on all frequencies, using the Empire's own communication protocols. The President's voice was calm and measured as he spoke. "To the Galactic Empire, you have witnessed a demonstration of Earth's defensive capabilities. What you just saw was one platform. We have thousands more hidden across our world. This technology was left here by those who defeated you before. We now control it." In orbit, the Imperial fleet's perfect formation showed its first signs of disorder. Ships began adjusting their positions, moving to defensive configurations. The President continued, "We offer you one opportunity to withdraw. Leave our solar system, acknowledge Earth's sovereignty, and we will consider this incident closed. Stay, and we will be forced to demonstrate more of our capabilities. You have 1 hour to begin your withdrawal." Dr. West studied the readings from the platform. "It's already recharged," he reported. "These weapons don't seem to have any cooldown period. They're ready to fire again immediately." In the Pentagon's command center, officers watched as the Imperial fleet's formation continued to shift. Their movements suggested confusion, possibly even fear. The Empire's sensors would be telling them that the weapon platform's technology was familiar, the same technology that had driven them back once before. "Multiple energy spikes detected in the Imperial fleet," reported a sensor operator. "They're powering up weapons." General Adams smiled grimly. "They're going to test us. Good. Power up 2 more platforms." Beneath the waves, more ancient weapons began to stir. The Empire had brought overwhelming force to subjugate what they thought was a primitive world. Instead, they had found humanity armed with the legacy of their ancient enemies. The President's voice came through on a secure channel. "General, are we certain we can back up our threat?" "Sir," General Adams replied, "according to these records, one of these platforms once held off an entire Imperial battle fleet. We have thousands. The only question is whether they're smart enough to believe us." In the command center, Dr. West made another discovery in the ancient database. His face went pale as he read the information. "General," he called out, "you need to see this. It's about why they chose Earth, why they left their weapons here. It's about us. about humans. The next hour would determine the fate of Earth. But even if the Empire withdrew, this was just the beginning. Humanity had inherited more than weapons. They had inherited a war, and the truth about their own origins. The Imperial fleet hung in Earth's orbit like a constellation of artificial stars. Their 1-hour deadline was ticking away, and tension filled every command center across the globe. Dr. West had just revealed the shocking truth about humanity's connection to the ancient civilization, but there was no time to process it. The Empire was making its move. Multiple ships breaking formation, reported the orbital tracking station. They're forming into attack clusters. General Adams watched as a battle group of 5 Imperial vessels descended into the atmosphere. Their intent was clear. They meant to test Earth's defenses, to call what they thought was a bluff. They're targeting major cities, announced Captain Rogers. New York, London, Beijing, Moscow, all in their firing solutions. Dr. West worked at the ancient control systems, his movements swift and sure. 3 more platforms are ready. Shall we show them what these weapons can really do? The general nodded. Execute. From 3 different points in Earth's oceans, massive platforms rose to the surface. Unlike the first demonstration, these moved with deadly purpose. Their surfaces rippled with energy patterns, more complex and intense than before. The Imperial battle group detected the new threats. They adjusted their course, bringing their weapons to bear on the platforms. The Empire's arrogance was about to cost them dearly. The first Imperial ship fired, a beam of purple energy lancing down from the sky. It struck an invisible barrier around one platform and dissipated harmlessly. The ancient shields were beyond anything humanity had imagined possible. All platforms, engage, ordered General Adams. The response was devastating. 3 Imperial ships simply ceased to exist, transformed into clouds of particles by weapons that operated on principles humans had yet to understand. The remaining 2 vessels attempted to retreat, their engines flaring with desperate power. One escaped. The other vanished in a flash of light. In the underwater command center, Dr. West monitored the platform's performance. No damage, no energy depletion. These weapons are operating at peak efficiency. The President's voice came through on the command channel. Send the second message. Make sure they understand exactly what they're facing. This time, Earth's transmission included data, detailed scans of the Imperial ship's destruction, proof of the platform's capabilities, and something else, coordinates, locations of other platforms rising from the depths all around the planet. The message was simple. You have witnessed what 4 platforms can do. We have now activated 50 more. The choice remains yours. Withdraw or be destroyed. In orbit, the Imperial fleet's formation had completely broken down. Ships maneuvered frantically, trying to maintain weapons coverage in all directions as more and more platforms emerged from Earth's oceans. Energy spikes in the Imperial fleet, reported Tactical. They're charging weapons. Dr. West studied the ancient readings with growing concern. General, according to these records, the Empire lost an entire fleet to just 10 of these platforms in their last war. We've just shown them we have dozens ready to fire. The next few minutes would reveal whether the Empire's commanders valued their ships and crews more than their pride. The platforms tracked every Imperial vessel, ready to fire at a moment's notice. Suddenly, movement. The Imperial ships began to rise, breaking orbit in groups, their formation ragged and hurried. They were retreating. A final transmission came from the Imperial flagship. This is not over. Earth will answer for this defiance. General Adams smiled grimly. Send our response. The President's voice carried across space one last time. Any future aggression against Earth will be met with overwhelming force. We are not your subjects. We never will be. Remember this day. As the Imperial fleet retreated toward the outer solar system, Dr. West turned to General Adams. Sir, they'll be back. And now that I've had time to study these records, there's something you need to know about why these weapons were left here and why they respond to human operators. The general looked at the ancient displays, still showing the retreating Imperial ships. "Tell me." "Sir," Dr. West began, "we're not just using their weapons. We're their descendants, and there's a reason the Empire fears this technology so much." The Imperial fleet regrouped at the edge of the solar system, their ships forming a new defensive pattern. On their bridge, Admiral Blake of Earth watched through long-range cameras as the Empire prepared its response. After the initial retreat, he had volunteered for this dangerous mission. "They're moving exactly as Dr. West predicted," he reported back to Earth Command. His small stealth ship, built with reverse-engineered technology from the ancient facility, hovered undetected near the Imperial Armada. Back on Earth, Dr. West monitored the situation from the underwater command center. "The Empire never accepts defeat easily," he explained to General Adams. "History shows they always test their opponent's capabilities, looking for weaknesses." He was right. Within hours, the Imperial fleet launched a new attack. This time, they sent 30 ships, a full battle group. They approached in a scattered formation, making it impossible to target them all at once. "They think we were bluffing about the number of platforms we control," General Adams observed. "Time to show them how wrong they are." Across Earth's oceans, 100 platforms rose from the depths. The sight was magnificent. 100 ancient weapons, each powerful enough to destroy an Imperial capital ship, all moving in perfect coordination. Admiral Blake's voice crackled through the command channel. "They're detecting the platforms now. Energy readings from their ships are spiking. They're preparing to fire." The battle that followed was brief but spectacular. The Imperial ships attacked first, their weapons blazing across space. Energy beams and plasma torpedoes struck the platform's shields, creating brilliant displays of light visible from Earth's surface. Not a single platform took damage. The response was devastating. 50 platforms fired simultaneously. 25 Imperial ships vanished in an instant. The remaining 5 tried to retreat, but another volley caught them before they could escape. In the command center, Dr. West studied the ancient records as the battle unfolded. "General, I've confirmed something important. The Empire's testing us, yes, but they're also scanning our weapons, trying to understand them. They're looking for a specific weakness." "What weakness?" "The original builders included a fatal flaw in their weapons, a self-destruct mechanism that the Empire eventually discovered and exploited. But here's the thing. These platforms are different. The builders removed that weakness before they left them on Earth." General Adams smiled. "So the Empire's searching for a vulnerability that doesn't exist." "Exactly. And every scan they make, every test they run, only proves to them that these weapons are even more dangerous than the ones they faced before." Admiral Blake's transmission interrupted them. "The Imperial fleet is mobilizing again. They're pulling back. All ships are moving away from the solar system." The Empire had finally understood. Earth's defenses weren't just familiar. They were improved versions of the weapons that had defeated them centuries ago. And this time, there was no hidden weakness to exploit. Dr. West brought up another holographic display. "There's something else you need to see, General. The platforms aren't just weapons. They're keys to something bigger. The builders left us their entire technological database, but it only unlocks after we prove we can handle the responsibility. By defending ourselves against the Empire. By showing restraint. We could have destroyed their entire fleet, but we only fired when attacked. The builders wanted to ensure their legacy would be used for defense, not conquest." In orbit, the last Imperial ships disappeared into faster-than-light travel. Earth had won its first interstellar conflict, but everyone knew this was just the beginning. Admiral Blake's ship began its return journey. "What do we do now?" he asked. General Adams looked at Dr. West, who was already accessing more of the ancient database. "Now," the general replied, "we prepare. The Empire will return, and when they do, they'll bring everything they have. But thanks to our ancestors, we'll be ready." The platform slowly descended back into the oceans, their work done for now. Humanity had passed its first test, but the real challenges, and the truth about their heritage, were just beginning to unfold. 2 days after the Empire's retreat, Dr. West stood before the United Nations Security Council, preparing to reveal the truth he had discovered in the ancient records. The room was packed with world leaders and military commanders, all eager to understand their newfound power and heritage. "What I'm about to tell you will change our understanding of human history," he began, activating a holographic display from the ancient facility. "The civilization that left us these weapons, they called themselves the Guardians. They didn't just leave us their technology. They left us their legacy." The hologram showed a DNA strand, then split to show 2 versions side by side. "This is Guardian DNA compared to human DNA. The match is not coincidental. They didn't just choose Earth. They chose us, shaped us, prepared us for this moment." General Adams stepped forward. "The Empire didn't just stumble upon Earth. They've known about us for centuries, watching, waiting. They recognized what we are, the descendants of their greatest enemies." The hologram shifted to show historical images, ancient civilizations, technological leaps, moments of human ingenuity. "The Guardians didn't just vanish," Dr. West continued. "They merged with early human populations, passing on their knowledge through subtle genetic memories. Every major breakthrough in human history was guided by their inherited wisdom." A murmur ran through the assembly. The president leaned forward. "Why? Why prepare us this way?" Dr. West activated another recording. A message left by the last Guardian Council. A figure appeared, tall and almost human, but with subtle differences that spoke of their advanced evolution. The Guardian spoke. "To our children of Earth, if you are seeing this, you have awakened our defense systems and faced the Empire. Know that this was not by chance. We chose Earth for its isolation, its resources, and most importantly, its people. Your ancestors showed remarkable potential, creativity, resilience, and a deep capacity for both war and peace." The message continued. "The Empire destroyed our civilization, but they could not destroy our hope for the future. We seeded our knowledge, our technology, and our very essence into your species. Each generation of humans has carried more of our activation genes. Now, you are ready." Military commanders exchanged glances as the implications became clear. Admiral Blake, who had returned from his observation mission, spoke up. "The Empire's scanners must have detected the Guardian genetic markers in our population. That's why they came now. They realized we were reaching the activation point." Dr. West nodded. "The ancient database is unlocking more every hour. The weapons platforms were just the beginning. There are entire cities hidden beneath our oceans, automated factories, ships capable of interstellar travel, all waiting for us to prove ourselves worthy." The Guardian's message played its final words. "You are not just our descendants. You are our improvement. We combined our knowledge with your adaptability, our power with your creativity. The Empire fears you because they recognize what you will become. You are the next step in our evolution. And now, you are ready to take your place among the stars." General Adams addressed the assembly. "The Empire's retreat isn't the end. They'll return with a larger force, but now we know why they fear us. We're not just fighting for Earth, we're reclaiming our heritage." The president stood. "How long until they return?" "Based on Imperial fleet movements," Admiral Blake reported, "we estimate 6 months. But we won't be the same civilization they faced before." "Dr. West, show them what else you found." Dr. West activated one final hologram. Blueprints for ships, weapons, and technologies beyond anything humanity had dreamed possible. "Everything we need is here. The Guardians left us a complete guide to rebuilding their civilization and improving upon it. We just needed to prove we could handle it responsibly." As the assembly digested this information, the ancient facility's systems continued to unlock, revealing more secrets with each passing hour. Humanity had not just inherited weapons, They had inherited a destiny. The Empire would return, but they would find something far more dangerous than weapons platforms waiting for them. They would find the children of the Guardians, awake and ready at last. 6 months had transformed Earth beyond recognition. Dr. West stood on the observation deck of humanity's first Guardian-class starship, watching as construction drones built an orbital defense ring around Earth. The ancient blueprints had guided humanity into a new age. Fleet Status Report, called Admiral Blake from the command center. Holographic displays showed hundreds of ships in formation around Earth, each built using Guardian technology, but incorporating human innovations. "All ships reporting ready," responded the tactical officer. Defense grid at full power. Long-range sensors detecting Imperial fleet movements at the edge of the system. This time, Earth was prepared. The Empire had returned as predicted, but they faced a very different humanity. Cities in the sky floated above Earth's surface, their anti-gravity systems powered by Guardian fusion cores. Beneath the oceans, ancient facilities had awakened fully, producing technologies that merged Guardian wisdom with human creativity. Dr. West checked the latest data from the genetic monitoring station. The activation is spreading faster than we expected. 30% of Earth's population now shows active Guardian genes. Children are being born with intuitive understanding of advanced physics. The president's hologram appeared in the command center. The Empire's ambassador is requesting a meeting. They're offering peace terms. General Adams, now Supreme Commander of Earth's Defense Forces, smiled. They've seen our preparations. They know they can't win through force anymore. The meeting took place in Earth's new orbital command station. The Imperial ambassador, expecting to find primitive humans hiding behind Guardian weapons, instead found a transformed civilization. Humans moved confidently among technologies that rivaled or surpassed Imperial standards. The Empire recognizes Earth's sovereignty, the ambassador announced, trying to hide his discomfort. We propose a non-aggression treaty and open trade relations. Dr. West, who had studied the Guardian diplomatic records, stepped forward. We have a counter-proposal. The Empire will acknowledge Earth's authority over this sector of space. You will share your star charts, trade routes, and diplomatic contacts. In return, we won't expand beyond our current territorial claims, for now. The ambassador's expression revealed the Empire's fear. They had watched Earth's transformation with growing dread. In 6 months, humanity had achieved what took other civilizations centuries. There's something else, Dr. West continued. We've detected other worlds with dormant Guardian genetics. The Empire will withdraw from those systems immediately. It wasn't just a demand. It was a warning. Humanity had discovered their true purpose. The Guardians hadn't just hidden their legacy on Earth. They had seeded it across dozens of worlds, waiting for the right moment to reawaken their civilization. The ambassador agreed to all terms. Within weeks, Imperial forces began withdrawing from the designated systems. Earth's ships took their place, protecting these worlds as they began their own awakening. Admiral Blake watched from his flagship as the Imperial fleet departed. They never understood what the Guardians were building, did they? Not just weapons or technology, but a whole new kind of civilization. Dr. West nodded, reviewing the latest genetic data. The Guardians knew pure strength wasn't enough. They created us to be different, to combine their knowledge with human adaptability, their power with our creativity. We're not just their descendants. We're their improvement. On Earth, children played with holographic toys that taught advanced quantum mechanics through intuitive games. Schools adapted to teach both human history and Guardian knowledge. The merging of two civilizations continued, creating something entirely new. General Adams received reports from the first contact teams sent to other Guardian-seeded worlds. Every planet we find is different. The Guardians didn't create copies, they created diversity. Each world will develop its own unique combination of their legacy and local evolution. The Empire had sought to conquer Earth, never realizing they were attacking the seedbed of a new galactic civilization. Instead of finding an easy conquest, they had awakened something far greater. As Earth's first deep space exploration fleet prepared to depart, Dr. West reflected on the message they had found in the ancient facility. From the ashes of our civilization, we entrust our future to you. You are our children, our hope, and our redemption. Make it count. Humanity had not just survived, they had inherited the stars themselves. The end.